towards the end of an hour flight, 500 feet, coming up the beach on Bribey Island towards Caloundra, and we put power on to climb back up to height to come in and join the circuit, and smelt this horrible burning glycol smell. Thought, that's not good. And looked at the temperature gauges, and they're very quickly climbing. His eyes went the size of dinner plates when I pulled the nose of the aeroplane up, turned the ignition off before the engine overheated, and the propeller stopped. 2 blades sitting there, and he's looking through these stopped blades, and everything's gone quiet. Put him back on the ground, and all he said was, "You've done that before, haven't you?" I said, "Yep." Never saw him again.
Every year, thousands of students across the country begin their flight training. Whether it's overcoming fear, a career in aviation, or the enjoyment of flying, students start by enrolling in flight school. On the Sunshine Coast, Go Fly Aviation, operated by Damien Wills and his team of instructors, work hard, have fun, and teach everyday people to fulfill their dream of taking flight.
I flew into Dunwich yesterday on Stradbroke Island, and we had to go around twice. We couldn't land. It was that gusty, and the winds are very similar today. So just keep in mind that for some of the students, it may be a bit nerve-wracking for them. If you have to cut lessons short, that's fine.
Yeah, straight level. Yeah, okay. So that's just involved in just keeping it on the horizon.
There's a couple of tricks, but one of the tricks that I do is on the edge of
3 fingers? 4 fingers?
Yeah, 3 or 4 fingers, depending on the horizon.
Yeah.
Out of all the lessons we have issues with, straight and levels quite often takes the longest to get right. If you don't get straight and level right, nothing else will work.
Look, I bet you know why I'm calling, don't you?
Jeremy is trying to get an update on the aircraft in for repair.
8515.
When an aircraft isn't
it's
flying, it
been
not
down
only
for,
affects students and
3 weeks
staff,
now,
there is a financial cost to the school.
We need a resolution.
He's under pressure to juggle the schedule.
We need to... Okay, so you're waiting on a part from... Is it from South Australia or South Africa? South Africa, okay.
Bruce recently finished his pilot certificate and is training for his navigation endorsement. They will fly a course laid out by Ali that will take them out of the training area.
He was upstairs and just going to Wattsbridge in Hindi, coming back, just looking at basic navigational techniques. Just part of his cross-country endorsement.
Stephen is doing his pre-flight briefing with Callum as part of his straight and level lesson.
You see, the more you bring the back pressure on the stick back, the nose pitches up, right? Yeah, so the lift.
First, we got the issue of knowing visually what level looks like. Now, we can use our instruments to determine whether we're climbing or descending. That's great, but we need to get to a point where we can just look out on the horizon and you know automatically whether the aircraft is climbing or descending.
With the briefing over, they head out into the training area to put theory into practice.
Yeah, that wind's picking up. So, yep, cheers.
For Stephen, this is where it gets real.
When you're ready, do it. So heels to the floor, full throttle, right rudder, bit more right rudder. The static RPM, T's and P's in the green. Acceleration is normal and airspeed is alive. So 50, more back pressure, a little bit of back pressure on the stick.
Yep.
Yep. And now just keep that nose on the horizon for now. Yeah, a bit of forward pressure, a little bit of forward pressure.
He came in here having a fear of flying, in particular turbulence. Always had a love of flying, but thought, well, if I learn to fly, that will help me get over my fear of flying, and I potentially get to do something I love as well. So that we have to look at those lessons a little bit differently than we would a standard student.
While Ali completes the paperwork, Bruce completes the pre-flight checks and fuels up the Cessna before they depart for his navigation lesson.
I don't really want to fly as a professional or anything like that. I just really enjoy it. I like the freedom. So for me, it's a case of getting it together so that on weekends I can hire a plane and just go for a fly.
Bruce and Ali head out to Wattsbridge, a commonly used navigation route located near Gympie in southeast Queensland.
Straight and level flight might seem simple. yeah, if you don't get it right, you won't be able to do turning, you won't be able to do climbing, descending, nothing else will flow. And you certainly won't be able to do landing and takeoff and maintain a proper circuit unless you can fly the aircraft level.
There's 1,000 feet, so level out, so attitude. There it is. Yes, let's go with the power. So a bit more forward pressure on the control stick.
Yep.
Feeling overwhelmed, Stephen struggles to get a feel for the aircraft as he tries to absorb everything he's being taught.
Now we can make a left or right turn, sorry. So we look out, left, center, right.
Right.
Yep. So a bit less back pressure. We'll just keep that nose on the horizon, so there. We'll hold that attitude there.
Even though at the moment, parts of it still terrify me, I'm absolutely committed to seeing this through. And I know that the more I do it, the more repetition there is, the more natural it's going to feel.
Meanwhile, Jeremy gets some bad news about one of the aircraft.
8515 is now going to be late by another week. Bloody hell. That's pretty serious. It's now been, what, almost 4.5 weeks being down, which means that we'll have to juggle another week. It's not too bad because we'll have 8668 back, so that's okay. But it's been down for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Can you imagine not having a table in a restaurant for 4 weeks? It's like that section of the restaurant you're not allowed to touch.
While waiting for the parts to arrive, one of their other aircraft becomes due for its 100-hour service and is taken offline.
Just pulling the high pressure fuel filter out. To change that, every 100 hours it's got to be changed. Yep. So we'll remove that and chuck a new one in there.
Bit of an interesting landing you had there.
It's rough as guts out there right now.
Yeah, the windsock's veering quite a bit.
As I was flying around, the wind was literally shifting different directions, like it was swirling, like almost like a tornado-like thing.
Oh, don't be that dramatic.
I handled it. You know, I'm a professional. Totally. You have to stay really alert, really agile within the plane as well. So on final, we were coming down, and all of a sudden the wind changed, and it gave a tailwind. And as you know, as a tailwind, it increases your speed. You get closer down to that runway a lot faster, and then all of a sudden, as you're flaring, you're not landing. You just keep going. And so as you keep going, the trees at the end of the runway were getting a lot quicker, or a lot closer, a lot quicker. So the last thing I thought, nah, that doesn't feel right. And you really have to go with your gut feel. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. So like today, we've canceled the rest of the flights because this wind is just too dramatic.
Next time on Taking Flight.
Separation, rotation, 70 knots as you figure.
Stephen begins circuit training and Nathan takes charge with his pre-flight briefings.
Power is close but not quite right.